Ever wanted to be transported to another world? Ever wanted to gain powers equivalent to that of a superhero? What about having an evil computer as an arch nemesis?
While the rest of your peers treat you as a weirdo and an outcast, you can rest soundly knowing that you're an integral part of their survival. I want to play a game.
Well, it's of course not a reality. This idea did manifest as a TV show from the long-forgotten and fictional time of the mid-2000s. Codelyoko was a French animated television series, first premiering on September 3rd, 2003 in France. It was produced by Anti-Films for Season 1, and later by Moonscoop for the remainder of the series. In the US, it began airing on Cartoon Network on April 19, 2004. The show ran for 4 seasons for a total of 97 episodes, and concluded on November 10, 2007. The core premise is a group of teenagers discover a supercomputer in an abandoned factory, which housed a virtual world called Lyoko, inhabited by an artificial intelligence named Xana, and a virtual girl named Aelita. Our protagonists travel into Lyoko and fight to thwart Xana's attempts to wreak havoc in the real world. The animation style here is very noteworthy and an integral part of the show. Though real-world sequences are primarily traditional 2D hand-drawn animation, while the Lyoko sequences are in 3D CGI, surprisingly making for a seamless transition, in that neither portion drags down the show's enjoyment. Side note here, some early season stiffness in Lyoko did occur, thankfully though it was ironed out as the show went on. In many ways, the show became a cult classic among fans for this hybrid animation. Before Codelyoko became the show we know and love, the gist of the idea existed in a short film that got noticed by Anti-Films, originally titled Garage Kids in 2001, and of course evolving into the show we all know and love, My Dad the Rockstar. Season 1 of Codelyoko establishes the characters, the world, the stakes. It introduces Jeremy, Ulrich, Odd, Yumi, Aelita, and Xana. The episodic structure is fairly monster of the week for Season 1, though it does lay some groundwork for some larger arcs, such as Aelita coming to the real world, and some slight relationship building with Yumi and Ulrich. Season 2 turns up the volume and rips the knob off. The writing shifts more toward longer arcs, deeper lore, and higher stakes. After the success of Season 1, the writing team was able to pursue more continuous storylines. Season 3 of the show is described by some as a transitional point. While there is most definitely fun to be had here, and an all-new costume redesign for all the characters, this season does still pursue some intriguing arcs, but somewhat also puts on the brakes, almost as if it's afraid to really let loose. When Season 4 arrived, it was originally intended as the end, but it left much to be desired for me personally. The story isn't concluded in any satisfactory manner, or culmination of our journey thus far. It more so ends with a faint wave and a thought of an uncertain future. Season 2 and 3 are where the heart of the show lies for me personally, where Season 2 explores a bit with building a deeper narrative, and Season 3 delivers an appreciated makeover for our protagonist, also improving on the CGI and animation. These Lyoko segments still hold up today. After Season 4 concluded, there was a follow-up series titled Codelyoko Evolution in 2012, which mixed live action for the real world and kept the CGI for Lyoko. However, it only ran for 1 season of 26 episodes and concluded with a cliffhanger. The production company later filed for bankruptcy. Nobody really talks about this one, and to me it does feel like missed potential. The show occupies a special place in 2000s animation. Stylish, ambitious for its hybrid animation, and centered on themes of friendship, virtual reality, heroism, and technological threats. This made it something special when compared to other shows at the time. One of the show's strongest assets was the dynamic between the 5 core characters. The friendships, tensions, growth. These give emotional weight beyond the virtual battles. For example, Yumi and Ulrich have a nicely handled, though not always perfect, relationship. Odd's humor balances things. Jeremy is the brains. Aelita starts as a bit of a mystery, but becomes integral and humanized as the show progresses. These relationships help root the stakes. When you care about the characters, the threats matter more. The show doesn't just have heroes fighting the boogeyman, but kids who go to school, who have fears, friendships, rivalries. Also, the transition of Aelita from virtual being to being part of the group gives a nice emotional arc. Her integration, her identity, her link to Lyoko and the team is very well done. While no show is perfect, our Lyoko warriors do fall victim to some missteps along the way. Season 1 was a decent start, but ultimately hasn't aged all that well by today's standards. While I appreciated the episodic nature of it back in the day, it is a bit of a drag rewatching it today. These Monster of the Week episodes can become a bit routine as Season 1 goes on. And one of the most frequent criticisms from fans and retrospectives is that Season 4, while ambitious and visually upgraded, suffers from uneven writing. Parts of the plot can feel rushed. Certain arcs get resolved far too quickly or awkwardly. Season 4 was meant to be the end of the show, but there's a sense here that didn't fully go to plan. From an opinion standpoint, I feel as the show escalated to bigger stakes and more complex mechanics, the writing couldn't keep up in terms of clarity or pacing. Some of what made the earlier seasons compelling is diluted by the volume of new elements and the pressure to wrap things up. Season 4 is ambitious in its attempt to tie up many loose ends, but sadly falls short in execution. Beyond both codelyoko shows, the series did see some success in merchandise. Toys, DVDs, CDs, video games, books. The video games in particular did a mostly superb job in capturing the essence of the show. They also didn't have to go this hard on the music, but I'm so glad they did. We're a new generation. Needless to say, this album got listened to a lot back in the day. Finally, codelyoko was a show that outstandingly mixed heart, ambition, style, and story. It hit major highs in its run, especially with Season 2 and 3, and deserves its place among one of the best animated shows of the 2000s. The hybrid 2D, 3D style was way ahead of its time. The characters and relationships are strong. The writing in the middle seasons is outstandingly solid. That said, the show didn't quite sustain its momentum through to the end, and the fact we never got a definitive end means the show feels open-ended in an unsatisfying way. For a series with as many built-in mysteries and world-building elements as codelyoko, it's such a shame and something that still hurts to this day. I advocate for revisiting codelyoko, either to rewatch or to support any revival efforts in the future. It deserves not just to be remembered, but built upon one day.